Hello. Welcome back to the Elden Ring challenge that made me truly realize I am a masochist. In the last video, you all saw me slog through roughly half of the base game bosses, all while remaining at level 1. It was truly a slog of all time.
I jumped too early.
Let's recap those rules. 1. I have to beat all Remembrance Bosses. And 2. No Spirit Ashes. And obviously, no leveling up. I think you all noticed the lack of VTuber cam and chat. You may remember me saying, I'm gonna stream this for the sake of documentation and fame and clout. Well, that was all a dumb, horrendous idea. I realized that when I said that I wanted to document the run, to me, it was so that in the future, viewers can look at the strategy that I used. However, there are way more in-depth videos for each boss, usually also with a better strategy too. So ultimately, I decided no more stream. I mean, you guys are here for my personality, right? This means I could also go at my own pace and play whenever I like, which to me meant that I could also make the video faster. And well, you can all tell how that went. So, let's pick up exactly where we left off. Maliketh. In his first phase, he has exactly one combo that we can bait out. And right at the end, we have enough time for one fully charged heavy attack. Second phase, you just parry the shit out of him with the Blasphemous Claw whenever his sword glows yellow.
3, 2, 1, go!
Maliketh. 169 attempts. Nice. Immediately after beating Maliketh, I sprinted down to the Deep Root Depths to fight the Lich Dragon Fortisax. Lich Dragon Fortisax, 15 attempts. The next boss on my chopping board is Dragon Lord Placidusax. I can't believe I said that first try. Now, this fight is a bit of a marathon. This absolute unit has a substantial amount of health and has high resistances to basically everything. So, it's time to cook up a new build. If we equip both the Great Hood and the Two Fingers Heirloom, we have just enough faith to use Black Flame Blade. This weapon buff is the best way to apply Black Flame to enemies, which, over 2 seconds, ticks for roughly 2% max health damage. If we apply this to something like the Uchi Katana, we can frequently apply this ticking damage to the boss, causing a trillion million damage. Boys, we have a build. Now, time to kill a lord. Dragon Lord Placidus Axe, 30 attempts. This left only a few more Remembrance bosses, that being Melania, Hoaraloo, and Elden Beast. Oh yeah. And Mog, Lord of Blood. Including the bosses required to reach these 4, I had a grand total of 7 bosses left in this run. Beating Commander Niall and Loretta of the Haligtree would allow me to fight Melania, and beating Gideon would allow us to fight Hoaraloo, and then Elden Beast. And then Mog is there too. So I decided I may as well get the headache out of the way, that being Melania. Onto Commander Niall. In keeping with the current tradition of cheesing specifically this oath, now at this point, it had taken me a peachy 3 months to go from beating Maliketh to reaching the consecrated snowfield, at which point Miyazaki dropped peak.
Fucking Mimic Tier cooked for a second there. Mimic Tier, why are you over there? Oh no! I'm selling! Mimic Tier's cooking. Mimic Tier, get him! Oh no, I'm selling. Mimic Tier! Mimic Tier! Mimic Tier! No! Wait, Mimic Tier still cooks. Mimic Tier still cooks. Yeah! No, counts, it counts! Ah!
That's right, baby. Mog beat the allegations. And also, Shadow of the Erdtree dropped. And with it, a whole bunch of items for me to abuse. I pondered for roughly 5 minutes over whether or not I should use DLC items. To be honest, they are extremely strong and would majorly benefit the run. It seems kind of scuffed to use the items without committing to beating the DLC at level 1 too. After the 5 minutes, an age-old saying creaked through my mind. If it's in the game, it's fair game. And so, I decided I'd use the DLC items. But obviously, to get into the DLC, I'd have to take down the Lord of Blood, Mog. Luckily, with the lower consecrated snowfield now open, I could get an infinite amount of frost pots. Like a rat, I scrounged together a stack of frost pots, a single runa, some exalted flesh, and a single blood boil aromatic. I had 1 chance at beating this man, and 1 chance only.
Fucking finally.
Mog, Lord of Blood, 79 attempts. If you reach this many attempts on this boss, consider seeking help. With Mog dead, I could now venture into the realm of shadow. In this realm, there were 2 main things I wanted to collect. Those being the 2-handed talisman and the Rakshasa armor set.
I like these little guys.
The 2-handed talisman is simple. When 2-handing a single weapon, all attacks increase in damage by 15%. This damage buff stacks with talismans like the axe talisman and slightly edges out the ritual sword talisman. Each piece of the Rakshasa armor set increases all damage by 2% for a total of 8% if the whole set is worn. The downside of this set is that it's supposed to increase damage taken, but for this run, that doesn't really matter. At this point in the game, if I get hit, 99% of the time, I'm getting one shot anyway. So, for the rest of this run, assume that I'm at least wearing the gloves and probably the pants too. The next boss in this run is Loretta of the Haligtree, who was giving me a bit of trouble. So, to make it easier, I consulted the ancient scriptures. Oh yeah, weak to lightning. Using the Ash of War system, you can actually infuse weapons to do lightning damage. Unfortunately, the wet blade for this infusion can only be obtained before burning the Erdtree. Fuck. So, I found a backup plan. In the middle of the Lake of Rot slept a Dragonkin soldier. This sleepy little guy drops a neat little katana called the Dragon Scale Blade. After using the unique Ash of War on this weapon, it is imbued to do lightning damage and cause frost buildup for 45 seconds. Power stancing it with a cold imbued Uchi katana gives us a very good status popping build specifically for this boss. Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree, 26 attempts. So, it was on to the boss I was stressing about the most, Melania. Let me be honest with you all right now. I've beaten Melania once, 2 years ago. Never again. So really, I was out of practice. Initially, I wanted to try to cook up a few builds before doing some proper research. My first strat was to use the turkey leg to cheese her. However, I realized that there weren't actually many opportunities to punish effectively with this weapon. I also tried the beast claws from the DLC, because the weapon art just completely stuns her out. This strat is actually pretty effective, and with some more development would be a winning strat. However, I didn't really have the patience. And then, I came across greatness. Take the Lord Sword Greatsword and the Giant's Hunt. Smash together these two expressions to create the perfect build. Imaginary technique. Infinite stun lock.
Thank God. Ah! No!
I did a little more digging. In phase 2, unless perfectly set up, Melania has the chance to stand up as the light attack is swinging, gaining hyper armor, making it impossible to stagger. So, I turned to Old Faithful.
Thank fucking God.
Melania, Goddess of Wrath. 145 attempts. With some of the biggest hurdles of this run finally out of the way, I had 2 bosses left. Because I'm not counting this fucking idiot. Now, from the very beginning of this challenge, I have been the wholehearted Serpent Hunter meat rider. Because, well, up until you can buy all the smithing stones, it basically is the best. In the base game, I think it only ever gets beaten out by the Bloodhound's Fang. However, I've been hiding a secret, a weapon better than any that has come before it. And it's not the Uchi Katana, or the Turkey Leg, or even the Backhand Blades. Let me introduce you all to the real S-tier #1 weapon for Soul Level 1 Elden Ring, the Starfist. This godly weapon is insane. The Cragblade Ash of War can be equipped to it, and it can be infused to match any situation. The charge heavy attacks come out fast, and this tool, used only to kill gods, staggers most bosses in 3 to 4 heavy attacks. 2 bosses left, let's get to it.
can't go up there right now. And that bitch isn't dead. Ah!
R2.
Big.
Horror Loop, 37 attempts.
The winner takes all. It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. Who never sacrifice their will.
That's a lot of damage.
And with that, gamers, Elden Beast was defeated after 67 attempts. This challenge has been the hardest thing I've recorded for this channel, coming in at a whopping 53 hours of gameplay. That's enough time to fit my Dark Souls 3 run 13 and a bit times. Now, let's look at some stats. For me personally, based entirely off total deaths, the hardest boss in this run was Maliketh. As far as the bosses go, this is one of the few bosses in the entire run where there is no easy strat for the above average skill gamer. You just have to learn the fight and just use Blasphemous Claw properly in the second phase, and that's it. Now, with this challenge being completed, I'm not going to promise what video is coming next. I'm not even going to promise when the next video will be out. It could be the DLC, it could be something else. Just know the dripped out penguin will return.